I'm pretty sure I'm going to be linking this to Facebook a number of times, because every time in the 3D printing community pages I see questions about what's the best thing to glue PLA to each other. And a lot of people say super glue, and I don't like super glue. It works fine. It's just I like the concept of a solvent type glue that actually melts it together. And in some of the experiments I've done with this stuff, PLA that's melted into PLA is much stronger than literally even the flat, even a planar difference on it. So the glue joints end up even being stronger than extruded PLA by itself. I'm not talking about adhesion between layers. I'm talking about the actual layer itself. I went and glued together a couple of calibration cubes, and I was just so impressed. Now, the stuff that I use is this stuff. I just went on Amazon and looked up acrylic cement, and I'm not even sure what the thing is on there. Some people say dichloromethane or methylene chloride or trichloroethylene. One of these. And what it does is it literally melts the plastic. I haven't been able to get it to work for smoothing, but for melting plastic it works good. And the best way to take it is to take, and if you got clear PLA, it's probably the best to use. I didn't have clear PLA. But take some chunks, take your brim, take your brim, take your ruined pieces, and just toss it in a jar of this acrylic solvent. And what happens is you get the equivalent of Tester's plastic model glue. And yeah, you can do the same thing with Tester's model, or you can make your own Tester's model glue by taking the styrene that you use for your model kits and add it to, I think it's acetone. But for PLA, you got to use this stuff, and yeah, this isn't in the best of shape. This is a little too thick. So what I should do is I should take some of that solvent, squirt it in here, and help thin it out. Some of the problems with this stuff is it evaporates really, really fast. So you have to move fairly quick. I honestly have not found a good solution for this. Now, if you guys looked at my other video for this mount, you'll have noticed that there was quite a bit of a gap there, and you just see this stuff squeezed it right out of the gap. I should have put 2 nuts on that so I'd be able to get a better grip on it. But I'm going to leave it like that, and then when I'm done, I'm going to do a little sanding. And it has to fall all the way over on the other side. If you're printing with other stuff besides PLA I just use all the time, just because of the fact that it's cheap. You can always get it. I do not like the super ultra cheap stuff that's, less than $15 a roll, because if I want to print something now and then I want to print something 3 years from now, you usually can't find the same brand. And it seems that the cheaper brands always are always the reason that you end up having 3D printer issues. You know, it's clogging or filament breaking or any of those type of failures. They always seem to be because the cheap PLA. And the easiest way to prove that is, you know, you go and you switch to a better type PLA, and it doesn't have to be, you know, the top of the line stuff, which is what I'm slowly migrating to. But you know, you get stuff that's more than $15 a roll, and that stuff just seems to print fine. Now the stuff that's under $15 a roll, that seems to print fine too for a while. Then eventually something goes to hell. Okay, but now what's going to happen is when I put these balls in the ball joints, this is all going to end up on there. But I'll use some type of smoothing device. I mean, I've got my little file here. I've got various grades of sandpaper. You know, I could probably even just use a pocket knife and just scrape it. But as you can see, the stuff that's on my fingertips is already dry and moderately hard. That stuff's still a little soft yet. I don't have any sense of smell, so I can't tell any type of odor. I didn't really have it open long enough for it to be an issue. But yeah, the pros of this stuff is that it literally will melt into your existing PLA. You can dissolve pieces of PLA in it to make it thicker. The stuff that's solvent is just this thinner than water liquid. Which, so if you've got like some zero clearance joints that you want glued together, you put a drop or two of that on there and clamp it and just wait, and you'll be good to go. But there, I just completely ruined a couple of 1/4 inch by 24 bolts. Which is fine. I'm trying to switch to metric anyway, but camera mounts are always in imperial units. So that's all. Got any questions? Leave them in the comments, I guess. You guys have a nice day.